Hi everyone, welcome to another Hatton's Model Railway Skillscast session where I help you transform your layout into a fully fledged model railway. Today we're looking at station halts. These smaller rural stations can absolutely ooze character and they're a great addition to a smaller layout or even a larger layout too. You can put one together for not a lot of money at all, really, but you can add a huge amount of detail to one with a wide variety of different items that are available out there, including plastic kits, ready-made resin buildings, and some other items that you can either buy or modify too. So if you've got any particular questions at all regarding these, I will be showing some really inspirational pictures throughout the streams too, and showing you some of the items that you can get to enhance your station halt a little bit more close and personal. But please do ask any questions you have throughout the stream too, and I will be happy to answer them. But let's get started with some inspiration. These halts that appeared on the UK railway scene, they've been around for over, well, nearly 200 years now, really. And these smaller stations pop up wherever they're required, really, serving more rural locations or maybe single points of interest, such as churches, halls, or other areas too. They do appear on some of the smaller branch lines and the lighter railways that operate in the UK, and not every train stops there, as you can no doubt imagine from the small size and the construction of these particular facilities. But as you can surely guess, these do ooze character too. They've got a lot of variation and style that you can add there, with them being sort of the second class of the UK's railway stations. They don't quite have all the facilities there, but a lot of it is available in model form, as I've got here on my diorama. So I've set up something. I'm aiming for the pre-grouping era here today. So you Era 2 modelers, some of you Era 3 modelers too, will find this absolutely inspirational. But as we can see on one of our prototype pictures, these halts do remain few and far between today on the UK railway network. This example here in the southwest of the country, still in a very steam era style, into the 1980s. So do have a bit of a look at some inspiration out there. There's hundreds of thousands of photos of these halts. So some of the details I've got here today, I've got my rural passenger service arriving with a P-Class and a Genesis coach. Into the station, we have the bare minimum of facilities that would be needed for one of these stations. Again, some companies did fit light, some companies did fit information boards, but the very minimum you would find is some kind of covered passenger accommodation, except on the absolute smallest of halts out there, some kind of storage facility, and of course the station name board to indicate which station you are at too. The station platforms you'll often find were not made to the same quality of a mainline station or a full-size terminus that you may be used to. Wood was actually a very common material, as we can see here, and I'll just pull up an image of a wooden station halt on the screen for you there too. So this is made from wooden planks, as you can see. It's actually raised above the ground with no sides. You can see that under the iron shelter at the back of the station there. So this again is a very rural station, only with a length for 1 or 2 coaches. You do generally find that the halts are very short and very small, only taking a couple of coaches. So have a bit of a look at this, Kelly. You may find that this is inspirational for you to squeeze one of these onto your layout. So looking at some more of the details that you can see there, we've got the Great Western Railway's Pagoda station building style. These were built again on the cheap to have them to give the basics of the different accommodation that you could get. And we have got these in kit form too. These are available from Will's Kits. Everything you see here today is available right now if you click that link in the description, and I've put some more information there for the various products that we have here today. So the wooden platforms are resin. They're from the Bachmann range, which again we have available to order right now, and you can enhance these with an appropriate station building dependent on your region or location. You'll generally find they are of a wooden construction to keep the costs down for these low-cost, small-size stations. On this particular station, I've used one of Hornby's station buildings, which comes from their station halt pack. This, as you can see here, comes with 3 platform pieces, fencing, and a small variety of different fittings for your station there too. Although this is quite a basic kit, it comes in at a great price of just under £20. This is the R590 kit, if you're having a look for it on our website. And it is quite basic to start off with, but when you do enhance the station building with a little bit of paint and some signage, it really does look great on a layout or a station halt such as this. This again would be the bare minimum of the facilities we have here, with a small office, maybe for the sale of tickets or for staff using the station, and then a very small undercover waiting area too. One other thing we see very often on station halts, but not so often on the larger stations, is the use of rolling stock as grounded vehicles. I've got one of the grounded van body kits here, but you can also use the Dapol grounded van bodies, which are separate from their wagons, and these come in at under £2, so they're a fantastic way to add a little bit of detail to your rural station. And these were used mainly for the goods facilities at these stations. We can see here, this is a smaller station, I believe, in Norfolk, and we've got a little bit more facilities on this particular halt. We've actually got an old coach body there being used as a station store. We have some light fittings on this station, which is quite something to see. And of course, we have the fire buckets there too. What we don't have here is a full platform. We have just some gravel on the ground, and this was found in a lot of places, especially in the pre-grouping and grouping eras, where you did have to climb down from the coaches and no raised platforms were provided. They did get a little bit more uncommon heading into the 1920s and 1930s, so something along the styles of the wooden platform that we see here, or the Wills kit, which is now appearing on your screen. This is a plastic kit that we do have available. This would be more commonplace if you were operating a railway, a rural railway, that is, for Big Four operators onwards. So as you can see there is a little bit of difference in some of the facilities, but this isn't a hard and fast rule. This particular halt has quite a substantial goods facility with a full goods shed. So check out our goods shed video if you want to watch and learn some more information about modelling those. But it's quite interesting, I find, that this station has more facilities for the goods than it actually does for the passengers. So maybe goods was a more important and regular commodity in this area. Who knows? But still, we have our wooden constructed platform there. We have some very rudimentary fencing, but again, we have our station name board, all important station name board there to make sure passengers know which station they are alighting at. We do have a range of those available. You can either print your own or you can use some of the bases that we have. These are the Pico Model Scene 5091 variations that you can find on our website. These come ready-made, but then you add your own lettering to the front of that, which is supplied separately. I've added some of the rudimentary fencing from the Hornby kit to the back of my platform here, but we do have a wide range of plastic fencing that you can modify your platforms with. This is a great suggestion for any platforms, not just the rural platforms that we have available right now. It's all listed under the different companies and operators too. So if you want Great Western fencing, as you've got here, or you want fencing appropriate for another operator, that is all on our website right now, so you'll know exactly which set of fences you'll need. These come on a plastic sprue and work very similar to a plastic kit. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the skills you need for those, check out our Making Plastic Kits video for a little bit more advice. So we've been mentioning signage a little bit as well. Even though these stations were hardly used by passengers in very small numbers, the companies really did make sure that the staff did know where they were getting on and off. In fact, this particular halt here has the bare minimum of facilities. It doesn't even have a shelter. The platform is a gravel finish, but it still has two different signs there, either indicating the timetable or some information, other information that is useful to passengers on the network. So you can pick up signs similar to this and check out the tiny signs that we have available from our range. This is the GWR set. These are self-adhesive, and you can put these on your larger or smaller station buildings, but adding these onto their own separate signs or the side of a small station building really can enhance a halt on your layout. I'm giving you some more inspiration there, one for our Great Western fans again, showing that these halts existed into British Railways days. We have our pagoda style station building there again with the corrugated tin construction. We can see there more lamps and the station name board too, but again, a gravel top there, which you can replicate with some of the finer ballast that we have available. Indeed, you can use the Pico platform sides and build up maybe a papier-mâché or a plaster of Paris back to the platform and then put a small layer of ballast on that to replicate that style. And just to show you that style again, I'll show you the picture on the Elsenham branch once again to show a gravel platform in operation. Some of the final details I've got here today are the little lamp huts to the right. These are resin and available from the Hornby range right now. And these two different items were mainly used as oil stores for the various lamps that would have been on the station to keep the oil safe and keep it out of the way of the flammable materials coming out of the locomotives. But at the same time, on a smaller station, these would have readily been used as storage facilities for other items that were occasionally needed in the maintenance of these stations. And that really brings the point home. These stations were designed to be low maintenance, low cost, with the few passengers that were using them, but they still did need that facility to transfer passengers on and off the train. They were built to a cost, built to a budget, and the fact that they were small and cheap and a great size makes them ideal to create either a small diorama, as we have here on a model railway, or indeed put one in as part of a larger layout. The Hornby Halt that we saw before does fit on the inside of second radius curves, and the station platform piece does match up with Hornby's R600 track piece. So if you've got a train set and you want a quick station to put on it, this will fit in with the layout that you already have. So have a quick look at what we've got available. Everything we've got here right now is available from that link in the description there, including all the details. But as you can see, with a lot of different halts that we've shown here today, and there is no hard and fast rule as to what facilities were made available. It really does depend on the traffic used on the particular line at the time. And the different construction did change between the different companies that you see. So have a look around the internet, have a look in some of your railway history books. You will see some great inspiration there, as well as the photos that I'm showing you in today's video. Although this is mainly a steam era video, these stations quickly went out of fashion in the 1950s and 1960s when these rural lines did begin to close. But a small number of them, as we've seen on our screen, did survive into the 1970s and 1980s with still very sparse facilities, as you can see here. So it is worth a bit of a closer look. There are also some preserved examples of the halts out there, although these have mainly been extended now to handle the larger trains operating on some of the preserved railways out there. Kelly gives us a great example there. Doniford Halt on the West Somerset Railway is one of these that's got a substantially larger platform, but still a simple shelter and some sparse waiting facilities are there. I believe that serves the beach and the caravan site on the West Somerset Railway. You've also got Deeside Halt on the Llangollen Railway, and you have various smaller stations on the lines like the Kenton East Sussex too. So even if you're modelling a preserved railway, the character and the charm of some of these halts does still exist out there into the 21st century. And as you can see in front of me, we've got many different things available right now for you to put one of these onto your layout. And maybe that's answered a question for you. A lot of people think a station is a huge, sprawling, multi-platform terminus that they may never have the space or the desire or the skill to model. Putting in a station halt on your layout such as this still gives you a huge amount of character, still gives you a layout with a purpose and a station on it, but you don't need a huge amount of space. This little diorama I have here fits within just under 2 feet, and I've got everything we need here on a station. We've got the passenger facilities, freight facilities, and the all-important name board too, and of course our wooden platforms, which are the resin versions, as we mentioned previously. So if you've been looking for an excuse for a station, have a look at halts. They were out there, they were very common, especially into the middle of the 20th century. You can still see them out there now, although they are fewer and further between. And there's some great ways to model them. Either if you're looking for all the detailed models you can pick up right now from our website, or you're a modeler on a budget, you can pick up the likes of the Hornby Station Halt that we see here. Or if you're looking at something different, you can pick up the Wills kit, as we mentioned, and then some great accessories to put on these dependent on the different halt that you wish to model. As ever with our how-to guides, I would fully recommend doing some research yourself into the specific halts, and there's a lot more options out there. I've shown you some classic photos today which show you the many different types that are available, and I hope you can take some inspiration from those. But as always, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about these small stations, do get in touch with us, either by leaving a comment on this video or getting in touch with our customer experience team, who would be more than happy to help you out. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page for more great videos like this. And we'll be bringing you more Skillscast sessions and all the latest model railway news too. If there's anything you'd like to know in the meantime, don't hesitate to get in touch via email, live chat or telephone. I'll just show you some more of those halt pictures again to give you a final piece of inspiration. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.